Hey, good morning. I want to just throw a quick pitch out to you who are taking aquaculture next year and also natural resources next year, or concurrent environmental science / natural resources, same class. This summer we have a summer aquaculture program. It's part of Summer Ag. And Summer Ag is just an awesome opportunity to work on projects you want to work on that are interesting to you. You can get 0.25 credits, a quarter credit for each summer that you do it. And it's open to all of you that are taking any ag class next year. So I'm just reaching out to those of you signed up for aquaculture next year, and then those of you who are in, like I said, the natural resources / concurrent environmental science. So I'm Mr. Watkins, by the way. I just want to show you around the room a little bit, some of the things we do, and maybe spark some ideas of some projects you could work on. So really, the sky is the limit. Right here we have a tank. We've got a big 55-gallon aquarium here. We put some koi in here to see if they would grow out larger in a bigger space. And we also kept one little rainbow trout in here. It's kind of interesting because this water is 10 degrees warmer than the water where the rest of the trout are. I'll show you that in a minute. But, it seems like this trout is growing, not quite as much because he's in warmer water. Trout do better in colder water. They grow better. Right here, this is a student aquarium. These guys have had a lot of mosquito fish born. That's definitely something a project you could do is how to hatch the most mosquito fish. And we actually got these mosquito fish from the mosquito abatement district in Ogden. And then we got a lot of aquaponics projects going. These guys have been growing cucumbers this year. Just fun to see these little cucumbers. This one's pretty funky here. But there's all kinds of things you could do with tanks to grow plants and experiment with that, which plants will grow best. And I have a student doing summer aquaculture who's gonna look at growing different cattle feed with aquaponics and see what works the best. There's a lot of different designs for aquaponic systems. These guys have a big pump down below, and they pump water up and then bring it down, so their growing trays on the bottom there. Anyway, lots of possibilities here. These tanks on this side of the room, we're probably going to move all of our tropical fish into these tanks for the summer, because this side of the room is air conditioned, and these tropical fish need some AC so the water doesn't evaporate. Okay, back in here I'll show you this side of the room. This is where we have our fun fishy pictures in the windows. This is where we have our big recirculating aquaculture systems, and there's projects you could do with these. I've been having a student do a project. The corn plant is getting tired, but it's been really awesome getting some good corn growing. And he's taking water from these recirculating tanks and getting it up in here. So this aquaponics, it uses poopy fish water basically as nutrients, as a nitrogen source to grow out these plants. But yeah, we'll have some of these. These are about 70-gallon blue tanks. We'll have some of those freed up for projects you want to do. These tanks here will be freed up for the summer. Here's a bigger one. Back here, another tank. And then, like I said, these tropicals will be moved to the other side of the room as well. But yeah, some awesome work. I think this is our record cucumber right now, hiding here in the back. It's hanging out on the back of the aquarium. But so many possibilities with aquaponics. Peas and beans and tomatoes and all kinds of different stuff you can do with them. We got a lot of different tropicals in here. We've got little guppies in here. We got mollies. We got tetras. Lots of mosquito fish. We got a lot of aquatic snails. Got to clean some algae from this tank here. Oh, there's some fun Donios in here. It's hard to see them. There's a big koi there. Over here, this I'll bring the camera around to the back. You can see this pleco right here, this algae eater. This guy, he is, we're calling him Ghost, because we had to transfer him to this tank for a little bit, and he dove down and he buried himself in he like wedged himself in a plastic decoration, and we couldn't find him at all. We looked through all the decorations, everything, couldn't find him. And finally, the student whose tank, oh, this is a cool little Cory catfish right here. These are cool. Finally, a student whose pleco he was found a little fin sticking out from inside of a kind of a lip in the plastic decoration, and there he was. His head had like become stuck inside of this little crevice in the plastic decoration. So we couldn't pull him out with tweezers, we couldn't coax him out, so I just had to basically take the plastic decoration and break it on the floor and crack it open and then get him out. So, pretty awesome. But anyway, you guys, summer aquaculture, sorry about the announcement.
Students, the NHS attending the lecture hall is about to begin. Please head there your next class. Thank you.
Summer aquaculture is to do projects you want to do with fish, with turtles, with snails, with algae, with crops, with natural resources stuff. You guys can do projects on pollution, on acidic and basic environments, on soils, on anything relating to natural resources and environmental science. You can utilize our space here. As far as we know, this is the only aquaculture building in the state of Utah, and possibly even the only aquaculture program in the state of Utah. So it's a very unique facility. And oh, over here, sorry, I forgot to show you. These are our trout tanks. So in here, kind of hard to see. I guess I can turn the oxygen off for a minute. Yeah, so these are trout that we got as eggs back in January. They're probably a good 3 inches now. These are rainbows. And it definitely is interesting because, yeah, on average, they are significantly bigger than that little guy that's in the tank by himself in warmer water. They do better in colder water. Turn my oxygen on. Trout are super sensitive to oxygen, and we have lost some trout because we lost oxygen. So, anyway, these guys are growing out good. And here we have trout that are getting up to, let's see, oxygen. There's some trout that are getting up to maybe 4 or 5 inches now. We've been pulling those out and weighing them and measuring them the last couple of days. So, oxygen back on. Bubbles, good. And then these are this is the bigger tank that we're transferring those trout to. Yep. So we're gonna get all these trout in this medium tank. This one's probably a couple 100 gallons, and these two bigger ones are probably 500 gallons. So yeah, we're gonna get all of them here and get them growing out bigger and see if we can get them up to 11, 12 inches. My oxygen back on. Oxygen back on. Bubbles. Okay. Bubbles. So in this email, I'm including the link to sign up. Just sign up if you're interested. I come in a couple of days a week in the summer, and we also do field trips. We go out and we shock fish to sample the fish, and we weigh them, we measure them, and go out on rivers in the area and do field work. I'd love your help on field work, field research. Probably maybe a trip to a hatchery, to an aquarium. But please don't hesitate to sign up if you're interested. This is not a graded thing. This is not a thing of worksheets. It's for you to do research projects, aquaculture projects, natural resources projects that you're interested in, and then get some high school credit along the way. So thank you. I'll see you guys, some of you this summer, and then see all of you in August. Thanks.